All right. Benton Harbor, good morning. Good morning and good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Another day in sunny but a little bit chilly Benton Harbor today with our snow on the south side. Uh, Apparently, our weather is a little bit ahead of the game with the snow, and I guess it's sticking around for at least a week. But we're here. We are here today again with chat with the chief. Today is November 14th, 2022. And I am Director Dan McGinnis. I'm the Director of Public Safety. And actually, I got my Deputy Director on. He's there looking very pensive. He's got a big grant meeting going on after this. So that's how we get all the toys and have the state of the art equipment, is because we are very prolific and proficient in obtaining grants. So today I'm a little bit excited, Clark. We've been putting our heads together about the issue that we have as far as our staffing. So today we are talking about how to start a career as a Benton Harbor public safety officer. We come across people who have been interested in police work or fire service, but didn't exactly know how to do it. So, we, as every department in the state of Michigan, has a need for uh, for officers. We do also. So we thought it was a good idea to kind of put this together and kind of explain the process, kind of from start to finish, on how what to do and how you can become a public safety officer for the city of Benton Harbor. Our goal is, again, every department is short staffed. Right now, I think we sit about six down. Was nine at one point, but I'm believing on for us to be able to go through, have some success, and get back to full strength before other departments do, because we have a mission. So we're going to be talking about that again. For anyone that has a desire, or if you know somebody that's interested in public safety, again, police and fire, we're both police and fire. That's what public safety refers to. Either you, or if you know someone else, please, when this video is done, share it, spread it. We need as many applicants as possible, and we want people that's from our area. We've had great success with that, and that's what we're looking for. And again, we get those six people. That kind of opens up things that we want to do moving forward for the future of the department, as we'll talk about that also. So, Clark, you want to say anything about this before I get started with the PowerPoint?
I think the biggest thing is just we need good candidates that want to be part of something bigger. And in coming in here, they get to be two careers. Whether you know you wanted to be a police officer and a firefighter, you get to be both. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, I guess.
It is. It definitely is. It's definitely a lot of us got into police work because we wanted to be cops. But the winds change and the tides of war take different turns. So we became public safety, and I don't regret it. I enjoy fighting fires. I really enjoy overhaul. That's going in and making sure everything is taken care of, no extension. So, but the thing is, again, we've come across people who really had no idea of how it works. And for years and years and years and years, when police work was sitting good as far as applicants, I think for departments, it would be easily, you might get 20 or 30 applicants for every one spot. Even for us smaller departments, I remember one time we had a hiring, we did a test, and we had 40 people there for two spots. So, it's a different time now. A lot of people, for whatever reason, aren't getting into police work. So those that still want to are really special people. But you have to be a fit here. And here at Ben Harbor, we have a different kind of process and a different way of looking at people, because we're looking at people that we can have trust in, loyalty, and are committed to the department. So even with that, before and even now, I think the process could be a little nebulous, could be a little bit confusing. And for us, kind of compounds that, because you got the process to become a police officer through MCOLs or the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement. or you have on the firefighter side, the Bureau Firefighter Training Council, if I said that correctly. So we got to have those both. But we're going to lay all that down right now. And so people who are interested have the ability to. Good morning, Sergeant G. One of our many success stories. G has been with us, and I don't intend on him leaving, and it doesn't look like the Lord intends on him leaving either. So he's with us. He's going to be with Deputy Director Clark long after I'm gone. So, hey, good morning, sir. So let's jump right into this. Again, we are looking at trying to recruit people in so we can fill our vacancies is the first thing, and that we can move forward in building what we are building. And things are going very, very well. Police and fire. There's some things we want to step up on the fire on the police side, so we can be top of the line of that. Our goal for this department is to be the best public safety organization in all Southwest Michigan, and I think we are well on our way. Contrary to what some detractors say, they're looking back and saying, how do they do that, or how do they continue to have that success? So you want to be a public safety officer. Hopefully somebody out there seeing this, hopefully between some of the thousands of views we get, somebody will say, hey, you know what? I want to try that. Or I didn't know how to do that. Oh, shoot. That's
Right.
simple. Let me make contact with Deputy Director Clark or the Public Safety Department. So we're going to start off here, how to start a career as a Benton Harbor public safety officer. Now, this is geared towards us, obviously. However, the steps in MCOLs are the same for all departments, as well as becoming a firefighter through the Firefighter Training Council. So the first thing is, what are the basic requirements to be a public safety officer? And that's police or fire. They're really the same. And what we have is, I'll get my pointer to work, is, if I hit it. All right. So you have to be at least be 18 years of age. That is, of course, you have the legal age of an adult. You have to be a United States citizen, at least at the time of your application. You have to be a United States citizen. You have to have a high school diploma or equivalent. So some people have the misnomer that you have to have a degree to become a police officer. Now, the way Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards has structured the training, we have what's called pre-service and in-service. We have certified and certifiable. And what pre-service is are people who aren't cops yet. So if you go through an academy, you will get like 35 credits to go towards an associate's. If you are not sponsored by a department, which we'll talk about, which what we do, that's what we're trying to recruit people who want to be public safety officers to come in, and we'll sponsor you, meaning that we'll foot the bill for your police and fire training for you to become an officer, a public safety officer for us. So that's how that works. Clark, your paper is a little rattly there. Yeah. So you have to have a high school diploma equivalent. There's no magic. You don't have to have a bachelor's degree or an associate's if we sponsor you. You have to have, obviously, possess a valid Michigan driver's license. And that might seem kind of basic, but we've had people who didn't have license apply. Have no felony convictions or certain misdemeanors. So within the last few years, because of the need for law enforcement officers all across the entire state of Michigan, MCOLS has lessened some of the restrictions when it comes to this. So, and this comes directly from the MCOLS website, can't have any felony convictions or certain misdemeanors. Certain misdemeanors, i.e. Domestic violence, that's a no-no. If you have a domestic violence conviction, then that, for the most part, eliminates that. And that's both police and fire. So we definitely wouldn't want to have anybody that be in a domestic violence situation. You also have to be free from any physical defects or chronic diseases which may impair the performance of a police officer or a firefighter. So let me explain that. That might sound on face value maybe discriminatory. However, there are certain there are certain uh, things that are allowable for public safety personnel, police, fire, medics. Say, for example, if you have narcolepsy, and any given moment you might fall asleep. You might fall asleep driving to a call or while you're helping somebody. Obviously, that's something. That's a type of thing that would preclude you from becoming a police or a firefighter. So, most things we can work through. Of course, we got people who have high blood pressure or might be diabetic. Nothing like that. But if you're narcoleptic or some type of disorder that might make you to lose consciousness or get confused, where might put you or somebody at danger. That's what those are talking about. And then there's some examples listed on the MCO's website. And then also the last thing is you have to be able to pass a comprehensive physical and psychological exam. And that's also very important. Of course, being a police officer is a very serious profession. We carry weapons and we have the ability, if it calls for it, to take a life. So we got to make sure that a person is not only physically fit, but psychologically fit. So we have there's a psychologist examination that every candidate has to go through in order to get into the police academy, which is in addition to the physical fitness. And let me say this. We have a very good mental wellness program here at our department. So the same psychologists that we use for our pre-exams, we also use them for some of our critical incident debriefings that we had after major incidents, or if we have anything that we need to discuss with him as far as officers. So we really have a good program there, and a very trusted local doctor that does this work for us. So again, these are the absolute basic requirements just to kind of get you through the door. Be at least 18 years of age, be a United States citizen, have a high school diploma or equivalent, have no felony convictions or certain misdemeanors, be free of any physical defects or chronic diseases which may impair performance of a police officer or firefighter, and then, of course, be able to pass a comprehensive physical and psychological exam.
Real quick, one last thing.
Go ahead, sir.
When I know in recent months and years, we've had a lot of expungements happening with some of the changes in the laws. And I spoke with MCOLS last week, and even with the big push to clear people's records, the state of Michigan is still not budging off of that standard. So even if it's been expunged, you still cannot have those convictions, even if they're expunged. If that makes sense.
It does, Mike. And here's why I think we have to consider. Again, I think we should all agree police officers shall be kept and considered to a higher standard. So when you have certain issues like that, could also maybe give an insight into kind of their personal character. So it could I don't know, I'm not on MCO's board, but that could be one of the reasons where they're saying that we need to have officers that are above reproach. And of course, if you have a felony, if you're slapping around a woman, that's not above reproach at all. So that could be it. I'm not sure what the rationale is. And also, let me say, with expungements, those are great. But truth of the matter, in the criminal justice system, nothing is ever expunged totally. So that's for another day. That probably in the social justice show. Anyway, so what we're looking for. So Clark, some years ago, and you're better than I am with time, we sat down, matter of fact, in here, and we put our heads together and we said, so recruitment and getting people to come here is an investment and not a cost, was one of the first things that we had determined. The other thing is, and I think everyone would agree, Benton Harbor is a very unique place, very unique. You fall in love with it. I love it. You're from here. I love it when people say, we need people that's from here. Well, he's from here too. And he went to the Benton High School, if I'm not mistaken. He don't happen to be the same color as I am, but he's from here. If anybody knows Clark is a Benton Harbor through and through, top to bottom, inside and out. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes.
And he's still a little camera shy. Anyway, so
actually, though, just to clarify, I was in the school district until 7th grade, and then the family moved to a different school district, but
That's
we didn't
beyond
live
your
here.
control. But and you went to Benton Harbor Area Schools, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. So we said, okay, this is a unique place, Benton Harbor is, and we need people that fit here. Now I know some haters will say, they'll hire anybody. That ain't true. As you know, there are many people that we've turned away, police and fire, because you have to be a good fit here. We need more, the Reggie G's, Marvin Hendersons, and the Antoine Hendersons, those guys that are that fit here. And again, I don't want to not name everybody, but the people we have here kind of have bought into the vision. They understand the city, understand what it is to work for the city and the people of it. And people know, for example, again, Sergeant G, he's well respected out in the community. Not only does he do his job, he also volunteers at SMCA. He's giving out water, he's giving out food, he's doing different things. That is the type of thing we're looking for. Somebody who not only wants to work here, but also be engaged in the community. So, we've had, our interview process kind of evolved to kind of not your standard boilerplate, just kind of go through the motions, go through the questions, but actually try to get to know you. So things we look for, following qualities that will make a candidate a good fit for the city of Ben Harbor. Again, we don't want you just because you're a body. You need to be a fit here. So you need to be an excellent communicator. One of the things you'll hear people say about police work, it's really 90% of police work is how you talk to people. So a person has to have some excellent communication skills, have some patience, and be able to talk to people. You have to realize, us as police officers, a lot of times we get called to scenes. It's the other person's maybe worst day, or they've been into a bad situation. They might be upset. They might be yelling. They might be screaming. And for officers not to kind of feed into that and then make it worse, but have a calming effect, be able to get to the bottom of the matter by having patience and speaking to somebody calmly where they can feel like they're being heard and helped. That's very important. And we've talked about that in some depth. Also has effective writing skills. Now, there's good writing skills and the potential for good writing skills. So writing police reports is a little bit different than writing a high school or college paper. So there's some things that people have to get used to. So there's some people that do need to kind of transition. They have good writing skills, but they need to kind of write up to a level that we expect. But having the ability is very important. That's why we ask for a resume and cover letter to see what those skills look like. We also need people to pay attention to details. My guys know I'll say, the devil is in the details. It's those fine details that set a championship team above just a good team, and we want to be a championship team. Now we get kind of down into the nitty gritty. Is this person selfless? Will they put the city and the department's interest before self? Will they, take on that extra shift or stay over, or you get a phone call or a call for service at 7:50, you're off at 8. Are you going to go below and hold that for the next shift, or take that because it came in on your shift? So, we want people who, again, see the vision, will put the city and the department's interest before self, because, we have a lot that we have built into our logo that we came up with. As you see here on this PowerPoint, and it's all in our stations on the side of the buildings, in the lobby, is trust, loyalty, commitment. Trust, loyalty, commitment. That is the main thing that we look for people to be part of this department. So that's very important to us. And here's something that might seem simple, but it's not always, is people that accept responsibilities for their own actions. We've talked to tons of people who may have had some incident to happen in their life, and they start off the sentence with, well, they said I did this, or they said that. That is not accepting responsibilities for your actions. If you're starting your sentence off with, they said such and such, so, then that's a red flag. That's a problem. So sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes, we make decisions that, in hindsight 2020 may have been different, but we want people to make decisions, because I believe that no decision is worse. A bad decision is worse than no decision at all. But, if you're wrong, you're wrong. If we made a mistake, accept it and be responsible for it. So people like this, they'll try to hide that, but the longer we talk to them and the way our process works, we'll eventually ferret that out. Because the last thing we need is something to happen and the officer not accept responsibility for his or her actions. That's very important. Here's another thing that's important. This is what we look for. Shows a pattern of stability, trust, loyalty, and commitment throughout their life. What do you mean by that, Chief? So when we look at a person, again, we look at them at the background investigation. We do several interviews. We also have people come in to do ride-alongs with officers to see how they feel. The candidate can get out to the street and see how we do things, right in the cruiser, see what kind of equipment that we have, what we utilize. But when we look at the background, and granted, we understand that there's a lot of people that are young in their early 20s that want to get into police work. That's fine. But when we look at your background, when we talk to some of your teachers and some of the people that have dealt with you, and not just your references, but the people that aren't your references, and they're going to say that, hey, that was a stable young man or young lady, was always trustworthy with schoolwork or showing up to work if it's a former job. They were loyal to the company, again, took on shifts or did a little extra when they didn't have to, and they were committed to whatever job or schooling or whatever it is, that they have those things. Again, if you look at the overarching thing we're talking about, looking for somebody that is, again, stable, that embodies trust, loyalty, commitment, the very thing that we're building the department on. So those are some things that we look at. And then also, lastly, can the people see the vision of the department? Not just that they're looking to apply for a job and looking on the short-term interim, but kind of see the vision of what we're trying to do, what we've done so far, and what we're trying to continue to do to make Benton Harbor the preeminent public safety department in all of Southwest Michigan. So those are some things that we look at. Clark, do you want to chime in on anything? Any thoughts you have? Maybe I missed something.
No, just going back to that communications thing. Not just be a communicator, but also have empathy. Like you said, sometimes when we show up, it's that person's worst day, and sometimes they just want to talk.
Yes.
Albeit they may be yelling or some other way, but they just want to be heard. And sometimes you just got to be that ear that can help them get through their issue and then help them solve their problems.
And that's a great point. And we both experienced, people come into our office and they're upset and they're yelling and talking fast, and they get out what they want to say, and we listen to them. And also a nice I'm sorry helps deflect some things. So that we understand that people, when they calm down, they just appreciate being heard. So that's very, very important. We got some young guys that are absolutely terrific at with people skills. We got great guys. Ryan Moyle, Keister, just great guys. So we are really fortunate in Harbor to have what we have now as we build this thing. So that's what we look for as the administration of people that come here. So again, if you don't have these qualities, then Harbor is not going to be the place for you. So department personnel at full staff, mind you, again, we're short. We're down about 6 now. I'm being kind of conservative with that, but at one point we were down 9, but we got 6 full-time PSOs that we are down with. And let me say this, we're operating basically at 50%, but our guys and gals are still doing a tremendous job. They're not making excuses. They're still going out there doing their job, in the streets, making arrests, helping people, changing tires, all that stuff. So we really got a good group. And once we get full strength, I think we're going to really be a force to be reckoned with as we move towards becoming a preeminent department. I want to be like a Grand Rapids Police Department or KDPS as Kalamazoo or Ann Arbor, that type of department, even on a small scale level. So overall, as far as on the road, we have 18 total public safety officers. That includes 4 sergeants and 14 officers. And we also have what's called a swing shift. Our swing shifts work either 2 to 2 or 4 to 4, depending on the time of the year. And what the swing shift does, they work kind of half on the day shift and half on the night shift. So really, technically, when we're at full staffed, one shift is actually, basically 4.5 people or 5 people at times during the shift. There's a lot of police work that can be done when we're at full staff. And that's what we're looking to get back to. And we want to do it quickly. The projections where it would take us about 5 years at the rate things are going to get back. And that's not an option. So we're trying to be creative, doing this show, for example, for recruiting to get some candidates in, and then we can get them trained up, ready to go, and they can start their career. We have two detectives, actually two detective spots currently. We have one detective in the DB, another spot we just posted. Ultimately, our goal is to have three detectives back there, which is some potential for people to move up and advance in the next few years. We have one fire marshal who oversees our fire operations. He's done a tremendous job. He runs a fire class, all our continuing ed on the fire side. We're going to see a little bit of that here in this presentation. We have 4 part-time police officers that work for us. They also got other jobs as well. They're part-time, and we have 9 part-time firefighters, and that's about as many as we want or need, unless we get a super really terrific candidate. But our firefighters are absolutely bar none. We have terrific part-time firefighters. Actually, if I can snatch them and make them PSOs, I'd be happy. But some of them got pretty good jobs, but they enjoy working here. And that's the thing. And Clark, we've seen people that have left want to come back, and people who come to either our fire training academy or our continuing ed classes want to work for us. Got to speak to that. What we've seen here the last couple years now, of people want to come here.
Yeah, it's the environment. I think when you create an environment where employees can feel as if they're part of something bigger, it helps. Everybody, and if you can give your employees input, obviously, which we do, and they can see their input and see how their own observations can affect operations. That definitely helps, instead of just you work and we tell you what to do and shut up and go to your job. That's not a successful work environment.
Nah. I think I forgot on here, we also have 4 reserve officers who actually have been with us for a long time. I was remiss in having that on here. So we have also complement of some reserve officers. So right. Very quickly, perks and benefits, some things that you can look forward to if you were to come to work here. One of the first thing is full PSO salary starts out about $52K, tops out at 64. We've come a long way salary wise. Of course, we're not exactly where we want to be. It's comparable to other pure public safety departments. We come a long way as far as police. I remember time, boys and girls, when I started back in 1999, I started at 966. So I don't even want to do the math on what that was a year. But we have a good wage now, and I think guys appreciate that. Imagine somebody who's 22 years old. We got guys 22 years old, they're making 52K. That's a good start for a young man or young lady. So we're excited about that. We have competitive health and dental vision plans. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is of course one of the top insurance companies in the state. We have hybrid retirement plan. And there's some kind of misnomer on the hybrid plan. Actually, quite honestly, Clark, I wish I had hybrid, because that puts the control in my hands versus some other kind of wealth manager's hands. So the retirement that we have here, we're MERS. I can't remember what that stands for, but we have hybrid retirement plan that you will be the driver of your own destiny over your career. So, that's an important thing to note. And those guys' plan is fully funded and in good shape compared to us that are defined benefits. Right. So that's a good thing. We're happy about. We're 25 and out with no age requirement. It means you can do 25 years and retire. If you start at 18 and you retire, 25 years plus 18, I'm not good at math, then you would be done. So some places you have to be 25 and 55. Here it's 25 and out. So we work 12-hour shifts. That means you have every other weekend off, and you have a 3-day weekend. So the way our shifts work, on 1 week you would work a Monday, Tuesday, be off Wednesday, Thursday, and then work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then the following week, you'd be off Monday, Tuesday, work Wednesday and Thursday, then be off that entire weekend from Friday to Sunday. So we have 12-hour shifts every other weekend off. So you'll have at least 2 weekends off a month. And because we work 12-hour shifts, our shifts are 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Guys only work 14 days a month. So if you work if you work a 5-day a week, 8-hour shift, that's 20 days a month. So we work 6 days less than people that work regular 8 to 5 jobs. Lateral transfers are accepted. We had an agreement with our union that if we're going to try to attract people, if they have experience, we want to be able to bring them in on a wage scale comparable to their experience. So we can bring people in, I want to say up to step three of our wage scale, where they don't lose and can come right in and be part of our department and start doing some police work. We have state-of-the-art equipment and technology for both police and fire. I think this is where Clark's Ballywick, he is a master of obtaining things. He's got many grants that we've achieved. When I say we got top of line equipment in everything, I'm telling you, Ben Harbor has top of line equipment and everything. Clark, you want to speak to that, to what we have, what you've done as far as our equipment complement?
So we'll start at the patrol cars. Once upon a time, our cars, we had some pretty bad cars. Now, through some work, we've been able to work with Enterprise, the rental car company. They have a fleet arm also. We rotate our patrol cars out every 4 years. So guys aren't driving cars that will fall apart. They're new. They're covered under warranty. They can haul all of our equipment. They'll start when we need them to start, and they'll drive when we need them to drive. Computers, we have the computers in the cars. We have automated ticketing systems. Everything that you need to do your job actually is in the car. You can handle everything right down to printing your own paperwork. We have the cars have printers in them. On the officers, we have external vests with new pistols that are have optics on them, which are very nice. And guys have found once they embrace it and embrace that little bit of a change, it changes everything and actually works better for us because it changes your focus. But that's another conversation for another day. Plus, on the back end, the technology, we have guys have a fingerprint scanner at their disposal. They have a live scan machine at their disposal to identify and run prints. Patrol rifles that are good. I can run down the list. It'd take me a little bit, but there's grants out there, and we'll go after it, and we'll find a way to make it happen. And considering when I first started here in 2001, the equipment we had back then versus what we have now is a tremendous change.
And we were the first to get body cams.
2015, yep.
First in the county to get body cams. We have actually, I think, the latest version,
yes.
As well as we're getting new tasers and some other things. I think there's so many things you may have slipped your mind because we've done this. Now it's like, okay, this is just how it is. And they don't realize we didn't have anything. So when you mention the cars, you stopped, but it's okay to tell them we had cars that had holes in the bottom that we had to put stop signs to keep our feet from going through. So again, we come a long way. That was back in the 2000s, but we've come a long way. So, as far as fire equipment, we got one brand new fire truck. We have currently one that's in production, a second brand new TAC engine that's being built. Everything on the fire side has been replaced, brand new, everything, jaws of life, fans, equipment. We've really done a nice job. And for both police and fire, our guys and gals deserve the best. All the uniforms, equipment are provided. We provide those. We actually have free uniform dry cleaning. One of the things that drives me nuts is a cop that looks terrible. You shouldn't walk around looking like Columbo in a uniform. So officers can get the uniforms clean here, free of charge. It's on the department. So we like that. Guys look really sharp. I like that. We're a fast-paced environment. It's commonly said 1 year in Benton Harbor is worth 5 years anywhere else. Probably it's closer to 7 to 10 years in some places. So, if you want to do police work, this is the place to do it. There's things that go on. Right now we got 391 outstanding warrants. So if you want to do warrant pickups, those are there. Every type of complaint you can imagine, you'll see, from the robberies and home invasions to the stolen cars. That's here, and a lot of people get into police work because they want to do police work. Some don't though. So that's I don't want to can't speak to that. Police and Fire Academy sponsorships. So this is what really is important, because if there's somebody out there that's interested in becoming a police or firefighter, of course, we're looking for full public safety officers, and they meet our criteria, get to the process, we will sponsor them through either the Police Academy and or the Fire Academy. Of course, we run our own Fire Academy, which we're going to talk to in a little bit. But those, and let me say, the Police Academy, just the tuition alone is about $9,700. So it costs us probably during the course of that 16-week Police Academy, probably about $14,000 to $17,000 between wages. Because when you're Police Academy, you're sponsored, we also have to pay you. So you're actually getting paid while you're training. But what those bills look like, Clark?
So your Police Academy by itself is $9,700. You're going to be working during the Police Academy 4 months, which is just a training segment. That's, those are 12-hour days. Those are long days. But after that, you have Fire Academy. That's not as long, but those are long days too. But that side is more expensive on the gear. The fire equipment that you need is about $5,000 per person, give or take. And then after that, you've got another year of probationary period where it's in field training. So even after you graduate both academies, your training still isn't done. So that's kind of the one thing. When you come into this, you got to have a motivated mindset and be ready to learn. You don't have to be an academic scholar, but you've got to be prepared to learn, because you're going to get things thrown at you in 4 months that some people get 8 years of college to learn. So,
right. That's true. Okay. So we're going to pick this up a bit because we got like 20 minutes left, but potential for specialty training. I know right now we're looking at sending guys to DRE, just drug recognition expert. We got guys we'd like to see get into some teaching, some law. We currently got 3 guys, including you, Clark, that actually help teach at the Police Academy in Kalamazoo. So not only, real quick, I know we got starting to run out of time, but we are working with LMC to not only bring a police academy to LMC, but also to introduce some in-service police training like they have on the fire side. So we're looking forward to that. And we're trying to position our officers to be able to be instructors in those courses. So we got guys that we're sending through training now to get them ready. And also it helps them in their career and, them having a plan for when they move on. So, and of course, and Clark mentioned, we have a family atmosphere. One of the things we say around here, we're a family. We're a dysfunctional family, but we're a family. And it really is true. And that's why I think when people come from the outside and see how we interact and what our culture is, they want to come and be a part of it. So, kind of real quick, future plans for the department. When I said there's a potential for some advanced training, some things we want to do the next 3 to 5 years. Of course, we want to add a third detective to the DB. We want to bring back K9. We haven't had K9 since I don't know when. We want to establish our own tactical team. That should be a team of at least 6 officers that will train tactically to serve warrants and do some low entry things when the DB needs them, or if the shift has something they need assistance with. Of course, we want our own crime scene techs. I'd like to get at least 4 of those that we will have our own fully stocked crime scene van. This is my wish list for the next 3 to 5 years. Of course, for the crime scene techs have that mobile crime van, and then we want to be able to have drone surveillance for situations at, say, big crowds outside. There might be 400 or 500 people. We can just kind of go up above and see what's going on. Or if there's a search warrant we're about to do, that they can go in advance and see kind of lay of the land. So those are some things we're trying to work towards in the future, and that we're not even saying the distant future. So the first thing for us to get to where we want to be is to make sure we got everyone here on staff that can move forward. Louis Krajecki just asked, Chief, has the department thought about starting an Explorer program? Yes and no. When we first inquired, we didn't get, unfortunately, on this side, kids weren't really interested, and those who went over to the sheriff department. So they already got a system. We don't get really many applicants at Word Explorers, but I'm open to anything because I really would like to get kids exposed to public safety early. So appreciate that question. All right, so here's the process. We got to get through this. This is very important. So there's a reading and writing test. So, all right, MCOLS, the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standard. This is a process for anyone that wants to go to a police academy to become a police officer. So we have what's called a pre-selection reading and writing test. It's a test about 50 questions, and that test is basically test your reading comprehension on whatever the passage is, and you answer some questions. So there's a reading and writing test. There's also a physical fitness exam, which has 4 different events. I think there's a vertical jump, there's sit-ups, push-ups, and a half-mile shuttle run. I'm gonna show you the information on that. That goes by your age regarding how many sit-ups or push-ups or time frame you need to pass those sections of the test. So there's the MCOLS pre-physical fitness exam that everyone wants to go to. I know for us, we send people to Kalamazoo Valley Community College. That's where the police academy that we use currently is housed, and then they do these tests for us. Then you also have to go through a comprehensive medical exam and drug screening. So that's making sure that you're able to do the duties of a police officer, and of course, as far as drug screening. So this is an important point here. Although marijuana is legal in Michigan, although it's legal in Benton Harbor, as far as MCOLS in the federal government, drugs are still illegal. So you can't go take a test, be positive for marijuana, and say, well, but it's legal in the state. Unfortunately, like Clark said earlier, MCOLS has a final say on that, and that's what they're saying right now. So is there anything different on that, Mike?
Nope, they're still staunch on that. The only thing that we're seeing changing is agencies are lessening the length of time since the last time you've used it for hiring.
Okay. Then we mentioned before there's a psychological screening exam that I want to say that used to be like at least 2 sessions. Take the test, you go back, take the results. But just like we sit down and talk to people and get to know them, so does the psychologist in order to give us an intelligent recommendation on whether a candidate is good or maybe we should pass on them. So it's a comprehensive psychological exam. There's a verification of a background investigation. Again, MCOLS is very, very strict on this. Unfortunately, there have been times in the past in some departments, quite frankly, even ours, where we hire people and there's no background done. There's nothing that tells us where they came from, why they're here. So they require us to verify. There's some paperwork on the back end that Clark has to do to verify that indeed. And they'll come and audit us. MCOLS will pop up at the door or call you and say, we'll be there tomorrow. And they'll come and they'll randomly pull files and they'll audit. So we have to make sure that all our ducks are in a row. So they do verify the background. Then if you get through all that, you get selected, you get hired, you go through and you get fitted for your police academy uniforms. Then you begin the 16-week police academy. The next academy that we're aiming to put somebody in starts in January. I want to say it starts January 23rd to May 12th. So right now we're looking for, and if anyone out there is interested, get on this as soon as possible. So we're trying to we'd like to get 3 people in, but at least 2 people in the next upcoming police academy that's coming. Then ultimately, when the police academy is completed, you go through the MCOL state licensing exam. That if you paid any attention in the academy and passed your criminal law portion, you'll be fine. The questions are not hard at all. There's like three questions. 2 of them might be close. One will be clearly ridiculous. And then you take that, pass it, and then you become certifiable. So let me also mention that. So in the police academy, the way it works in Michigan, so there are people who try to put themselves through the police academy but aren't sponsored. They'll have a tough time getting in because for MCOs, police departments have priority. So if the department calls up KVCC, say Paw calls up KVCC and says, hey, I got 2 people I'm sponsoring the department. And they got 2 people that's in there that are not sponsored, they'll get bumped because police departments have priority. So we already have 2 spots that are held for us. And because they're held for us, that means a person who's putting themselves through will be on the back burner, unfortunately. So it's really good to actually at this point get into a sponsorship situation so that you can get right in, and that's what we're looking for. So the MCO's agility test. Again, I told you it's vertical jump, there's push-ups, sit-ups, and a half-mile shoulder run. We run back and forth. So the way that works is it goes by your age. So for example, if you're 22 years old, you'll be in this first category. So you would have to have at minimum a 17.5-inch vertical jump, be able to do 32 sit-ups, and be able to do 30 push-ups. And your half mile needs to be at least 4 minutes, 29.6 seconds. So this is how you gauge. And you see there's a different for females. So if you're like, say, a 22-year-old female, you have to do 11-inch vertical jump, 28 sit-ups, 7 push-ups, then a 5 minute and 35-second mile. So this is what the physical test entails. And this is all the way across the board. All police academies, you have to take this physical agility test and pass all parts of it. You can't pass like 3 out of the 4. You have to pass the whole thing to pass the test, pass all the sections to pass the whole test. So for our fire process, the Michigan Firefighters Training Council, there's some requirements that are similar to police. And here we run our own academy because we had a need to fill bodies. Of course, unfortunately for us, if we're down 1 public safety officer, that's actually 2 positions. It's a firefighter and a police officer. So we said, we got to do something to at least get people to come in and be able to contribute right away. So we said, what, the best way to do that is through starting our own fire school. So we do, at this point, I think we're doing 2 fire schools a year. And we do the fire school. They're done where you can get through fire school, get done with it, start to get some experience in the department, and then go on to the police academy. So like the young man that we have in the academy right now, he's already fire certified. And once he gets done with the police academy and he passed everything, he'll get out and hit the road running. Of course, he's got to train. Of course, there's also a comprehensive medical exam for the fire. It's a little bit different than police because you have to be able to wear what's called SCBA. That's a self-contained breathing apparatus. It's a big tank on our back and the thing around our face. And the doctor has to be able to sign off on what we call a respiratory certificate that certifies that you are indeed able to use SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus. Then, of course, we measure you for your turnout gear. As Clark said, it is more expensive than police. Then we have a 10-week hybrid fire academy. It's 90% hands-on. Again, our academy was started by Fire Marshal Kazmazek. Our fire academy is so successful in such a short time that the state of Michigan is using us as an example throughout other parts of the state to maybe go to this mode of teaching. Now we're having other fire academy personnel coming down and seeing how we do things. So Kaz has done a great job with the fire school. And that's where we are. They're really pushing our model for the state of Michigan. And I'm very proud to say our fire school, albeit short, we have a 97% successful completion rate. Let me say that again. We have a 97% successful completion rate for our fire academy as top of the line. Then ultimately, for that, there's a state written exam. So the fire exam is actually 2 exams. You have the written exam, which is all the book stuff. And then there's the practical exam, which is 12 or 13 stations. You have to show that you can practically do the job of a firefighter. That might be tossing a ladder, tying some knots, self rescue from a dark room, those type of things, to do those successfully to be a firefighter. So that's how it works for the Michigan Firefighters Training Council. These are the steps that you have to go through. So again, we got to balance both of those between the examinations. Since we're public safety, we can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So people are going to do their police examination and the fire examination at the same time when we set them up for their physicals. So I mentioned a little bit about our fire academy. Again, it's top of the line. We are the first to, of course, start a separate academy outside of the one that Benton County has. And from there, we have our training schedule that we put out. This is this fall schedule. So we have people come from all around, literally from other states and other counties for our classes here. So every person that becomes a public safety officer with us will have the ability to heighten their fire career because all the training for them is free. So we charge other people for these courses, but for our guys, it's free. So, if you want to be a fire officer or get some of your continuing ed, this is a place to be. Again, Fire Marshal Kazmazik has a great deal going on with education. So we have our 2023 calendar. Again, we have our hybrid fire instructor 2 class, some things that you see here, things that firefighters would kill for at their departments. Again, then they're coming here to be taught at our academy. And we also have a partnership with LMC. So a lot of these courses will be taught at the LMC campus as we work together to do not just the police academy and the fire academies, but continuing it on both sides. So those are some things that we have. Again, Benton Harbor Public Safety Fire Training Academy has become a going concern very quickly, and we're proud of that. So here's our pay scale. We actually have what's called PSO 1, 2, and 3. PSO 1 is a firefighter only when they come here when they're hired. PSO 2 is police only, and PSO 3 is fully cross-trained. So again, we've come a long way as far as getting up to where we need to be, competitive and respectable. And again, we're going to continue to get our guys more money for all the work that they do for serving our city. So actually, I made some good time. If you're interested in applying, here is what we're looking for. So you can go to that link. You can Google City of Benton Harbor or just put in bhcity.us. Go to jobs opening. One thing that I'm asking for when you get to the link, our application process is online, and you'll see it there for public safety. But I like to, in addition to your application that you fill out online, I want a cover letter and a resume. Now, our system only lets you upload 1 document. So if you can take your cover letter and your resume and scan it together, make it 1 document so that it'll come through. Because the first thing we look at is, well, can they write? Well, if they wrote a decent cover letter or not, is that good indication of where their writing skills are. So you can apply at, the city of bentonharbor.us/job openings. We want to submit application, cover letter, and resume. And here's what that page looks like. So if you were to go to the city of Benton Harbor, you can either navigate to departments, personnel, or if you take that link I just showed you, matter of fact, this link here, you can even put bhcity.us/police. You should be able to see it. But this is what it looked like. I highlighted here where it says public safety /co-compliance. Those really should be separate. You click on this. This is a link. It will take you to the job description and then to the application process. So that's how you do that. And we did it. For any more information, please contact Deputy Director Clark There's his
So,
number. Go ahead, sir.
one thing to touch on, and I've had this brought to my attention before.
Mhm.
Our postings say certified or certifiable. And what that means is if you already have the police academy and fire school, yes, we'll consider you. If you don't, you just have to meet the rest of the criteria and we'll work on getting you certified. So we will sponsor you to the police academy, to fire academy, and everything else to make sure you get trained the way you need to.
And that's important. So I don't want to. I spent this hour with people, and they think there's still a roadblock. What we just presented is for the if you qualify and you get hired in here, we will invest in you to become certified or certifiable, but you'll be certified because you'll be sponsored by us. So again, that's what as mentioned before, that people that are sponsored by police departments they get moved right up to the front line. So what's nice is you can start your career here and start it young, start it early, 25 and out. You can go at 30 something, which is something else. So we got some questions. Trails on. We had a question about Explore. Here's another one. Not enough staff to teach, unfortunately. That is true. Something about truck driver. So, Keel, is the department going to VHHS to see who wishes to join the department? We tried that. We did. Not a lot of interest, and with speaking with the curriculum director at that time, there was a lot of changeover. Stuff seems to get lost there. We were definitely interested in that. We also actually were looking to put a fire academy in the high school. Other school districts were interested. Would have been one for North Berrien. There were a lot of hoops to jump through, and they actually had more students outside of Ben Harbor area schools interested than inside. And I'm like, well, that defeats kind of our purpose. So, but with that being said, the way our fire school is structured now, they can go through a full fire school outside of school on their own time and not have to go through all the red tape paperwork through Berrien County ISD and really get the same certification in a shorter time. It doesn't take 2 semesters. Let me see. Let's bring back the table calls. We got new board members. I'm not sure what that is. Is there a signing bonus? No, there's no signing bonus because that's a union issue. So just for those comments. Clark, anything you want to say as we get out of here? We got all this please.
Just got to come in. You got to make that first step, come through the door. We hear a lot that people don't know the process. The first step to the process is actually coming through the door and saying, I'd like to be here. I hear a lot that people want us to hire people from here, but we get the people from here got to want to come in here and work. We're trying to reach them where we can find them, but they gotta make that first step. They gotta come through that door, the proverbial door.
And we're always recruiting, as we've all done. We've been on fire scenes, police scenes, seeing people standing around, ask them were they interested. And some people say, I'd be a firefighter. I don't know if I want to be a cop. Well, it's also open to, although we had 9 firefighters and I'm pretty comfortable with what we got. If we get somebody locally that's looking to be part-time fire and they're from the city, we'll get you in. So we really want full-time public safety officers, but if you want to be a part-time fire, that's a conversation too, because the more people we have here locally, the better we can respond. The more bodies that we have, the better we can do as a fire service. And right now we're rocking. So then those are some considerations. If you got any questions, feel free to call Clark. And of course, my number is, I didn't put that on there because I was wanted you to call him because he's already busy enough. But here's my number again. If somebody wants to call and speak to me. Shaq, if you can find somebody that is willing to come from Ben Harbor, they gotta be able to pass the test too, obviously. But we're all for that because really those guys can walk into a career, graduate from high school, on Friday and start work on Monday. So that is something that we've been trying. It's been on my bucket list to partner with Benton Harbor and some other area schools to get students who are interested in police work or public safety to get right into it. And that's the opportunity that we present because, and I guess there'd probably be a perk too, Clark, of you can start your career immediately. You don't need to go 2-3 years, get your bachelor or get your associate or bachelor's, and then come back and apply. So, we've had, it's rare, but we've had 18-year-olds that have applied here and doing very well. So again, 38, he's done. So that's a nice thing to do. So guys, gals, for those who are out there listening to this, please spread the word. Your city needs some help to recruit our folk to get in here to fill these jobs. We want people that from the area is good, but that they embody the things that I said were important to us, that they're a fit here in Benton Harbor, and that when they come here, they'll be successful because they become part of the Benton Harbor Department of Public Safety family, and they become part of the city of Benton Harbor family. And, as a family, we take care of each other. As kind of we say now, we are Benton Harbor. So, that means a lot to me, a lot to us. Clark was tickled by that. I didn't even know I said it, but that ass taken root. Some of the many things I say. So come join the most progressive department in Berrien County. We look to be the best. We're well on our way. I think we are the best fire service. Now we're trying to close the loop, become the best police department, and really serve our citizens. So that being said, Clark, you got any parting words of wisdom? You said them already.
No, just come on. Come on.
And if we can get you in here and get you into the January Police Academy, the door's open, guys and gals. This is for men and women. You got some people out there that don't think women have a place in police work. That's absolutely foolishness. Probably one of the greatest cops I know is a female. So we want men and we want women. You're all welcome, because if you can come and work on this job, you're tough no matter what. So that's what we're looking for. We hope that we can get some people. Shaq, throw some people this way. They got to meet the qualifications. But we definitely are looking to get back to full complement with people that are fit here. So with that being said, you have been listening to Chat with the Chief here on we're on Facebook and also the City of Benton Harbor YouTube channel here every Monday, 9 a.m. Again, I am Director Dan McGinnis, and you have been on with us. Again, we want to put this out there to clarify for those who might be interested in getting into public safety work, and to open the door and say you're welcome to come and apply here. With that being said, we got another meeting we had to get into 4 minutes ago, and we'll talk to you Benton Harbor next week, same time, same channel. Thank you, and be blessed for the rest of your week.